it's August and I forgot something. I forgot a bunch of potatoes in this root cellar, 6 pails. I was keeping them back as extra seed in case I really needed them. I use this to keep the garden perishables good year round. Usually I'm getting baby potatoes by the time these start sprouting. But let's just take a look. I got the coffee bag here is to aid in letting them breathe. And get this off here. Let's see if I got a light. Oh, here's the light. No, not plugged in. There's the temperature controller. I keep this at 8 degrees Celsius, but as you can see, they're not rotten. They're just absolutely crazy nests. So if we take a look at this one, it's basically ready for seeding, but I'll just dump these out in a compost pile. I need the buckets more than I need the potatoes. So for temperature control, we've got electronic temperature control. It runs a electric thermostat, and then it comes down to the ceramic heater, which is nice because you don't get any visible light, and that way the potatoes don't want to sprout halfway through the middle of the winter. So there you can see there's quite a drop to get into the root cellar. And then you got that nice chimney to get some airflow in there. And then the earth is heaped over the top. And that's what controls the temperature. And when the door is closed, we stick the tin in front of the door, and it acts like a reflector so that the sun shining on the door doesn't quite have as big an effect on the internal temperature. It's kind of neat. So look at that. Potatoes so healthy, they can grow new potatoes without even having soil. They're just growing off what's in the bucket. And like, if you take a look, there's no mega mushy ones. I had worse seed potatoes from Canadian Tire this year. And like, this is still firm. Like, I'm pushing hard. So yeah, good healthy potatoes. They last a long time. So here we can see on these reds, they're really making baby potatoes. And again, pretty cool, because again, no real soil in there. They're just doing it all on whatever energy is left in the potato. But like, look, like these are still hard. Like this one, if it didn't have these eyes on here, you know, you'd be eating it. And if you were really hungry, I guess you'd be eating it. But it's August, so I'm just about to get some brand spanking new potatoes. And if you're also wondering why they're dirty like this, when you go to store potatoes long term, you want to leave the dirt on them. You don't want any like big clods of dirt that have moisture in them. All you want is just to leave a little bit of the natural biome on it, because it actually preserves the potato. If you wash that off, all of a sudden you have nothing to protect the potato and they rot quite readily. This root cellar isn't quite as dangerous as most, because when you open the door, there's only that small step, and then you go down, you can place the buckets in. But I do have to warn you, like some, they have the hole like way up top, and if they are built like that, if you have rotting vegetation inside them, it can consume all the oxygen, so you'll go inside and basically you won't have any air to breathe, and you can perish. So you got to be really careful about stored vegetables if you don't have a properly built root cellar. The door's been open quite a while, and it's still 66F in here, which is about 18 degrees Celsius. It was a lot cooler in here right when I opened the door, and that's all due to being like buried in the earth. It just kind of keeps everything where it's not going to spoil. There is ventilation up through this shaft. It goes up to the top, and then in the bottom it's just lined with sand, and then you got rodent control in the corner, and then that's kind of like, we had some rodents getting in, and that kind of blocked that. You take a look in here, we just got some dry dirt. There's no rot, no fungus, and then yeah, it's still dry. This one's got a little bit of moisture. That's from the respiration from the growing potatoes inside the bucket. It's best to, like, 5-gallon pails aren't ideal, they're just cheap, but it'd be better to have them in like wood crates where the potato can breathe, and then you don't get the moisture buildup. I'll have to take each one of these and spray it out with a pressure washer to sanitize them before next year's crop goes into them. Then I leave them out in the sun so that they're good and dry before I use them.